MLB Pipeline just a few days ago dropped their new top 100 with all the players from the 2022 MLB draft. I'm going to go ahead, take a look at it, give you my thoughts and opinions, and maybe talk about some guys that got snubbed, a little ranked too high, a little too low. You know the drill around here. It's always simple. If you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you do drop a like on it, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content. Follow me on all my social media at GiraffeNeckMark, links in description. So here we go. Starting off at number 100, we have Zach Geloff of the Oakland A's. This is actually someone that I'm really excited got into the top 100. He's just been a really solid hitter. His brother Jake Geloff, really good at Virginia. Zach, of course, coming from there as well. Really talented player. Glad he got in the top 100. He's having a good year. Number 99, Nick Gonzalez. That makes sense. He dropped down a lot of lists. He's just not really performing particularly well at AA. The power is just not really showing up, and that's a little concerning. Shocked Luis Campusano still makes it on here. I'm not sure how. I mean, I know he rakes at AAA, but I feel like at some point we got to probably give up on the Luis Campusano hype train. I don't know. Emanuel Rodriguez, if you guys watch my card channel, link in the description as well. Giraffe Neck Cards. This is a guy who I was extremely high on going into the season. He hasn't played as much recently because of injuries, but boy, oh boy, is he sick. Look at that 492 on-base percentage. Big Emanuel Rodriguez fan. Ting Kent's a guy from the 2020 draft in the Cardinals organization. He's just straight up been nasty in A-ball this year. So I love them showing some respect his way. Brandon Pfaadt with the Diamondbacks, a guy who probably isn't in the top 100 for me right now, honestly. Brock Porter, definitely in the top 100. I had him as the highest ranked pitcher in the current draft. He fell all the way, to the 4th round, I believe? Yeah, and the Rangers ended up getting him with the money that they saved on Kumar Rocker. Hasn't pitched yet, but love Brock Porter. Good prospect. Alec Burleson has been raking at AAA. Raking. Like, this guy's got to be close to the majors. 20 homers, 20 doubles, at a 900 OPS with a 366 on base, 320 average in Memphis. Yeah, I think it's almost time for Alec Burleson to get some time at the major leagues. DL Hall got his spot start. Didn't look great, but I still believe in his stuff. He hasn't performed particularly well this year overall, but for a guy coming off of injuries and who has electric stuff, I'm okay with him being around the late top 100 area. Kevin Alcantara, fun. Look at these numbers. The dude is a beast at the plate. He's hitting a lot better than we expected. The power's starting to come along. He's 6'6", 188 at 20 years old in A-ball. I think he's going to be a really good player for the Cubs. 19-year-old for the Mets at high A in Brooklyn, Alex Ramirez, a guy I'm super excited about. He looks like he could be a 5-tool prospect for the Mets. He's played really well at every single level above his age, which is fantastic. Really excited about Alex Ramirez. I think he's probably like a top 75 guy, but I'm okay with him at 90. So Joey Weimer was starting off the year a lot better. I'm still a huge Joey Weimer fan, but he has definitely slowed down quite a bit getting to AAA, adjusting to that new level. He had a good year at AA. He's just a freak. He throws the ball hard, hits hard, runs fast, really good athlete, and follows me on Twitter, so I'm a fan of Joey's. If you listen to the Mets Up podcast, we talked about prospects. Jackson Merrill. This was a guy who works at Baseball America. Matt Eddy, one of his favorite prospects. Jackson Merrill, first-round pick back in 2021. Kind of under the radar because he came from, Maryland, the state. Jackson Merrill's a guy to keep your eye out for who could be a riser next year. Austin Wells with the Yankees, just a straight-up good player. I don't necessarily know if catching's going to be the position for him, but really good hitter. Carson Williams, another guy. Just the Rays kind of don't miss him, and Merrill went back-to-back, kind of both under the radar, but Carson Williams. Look at these numbers. 15 homers, 20 doubles, 10 triples, and 61 RBIs. Striking out a bit, but really good first season in, actual minor league baseball. Matthew Librator got sent back down. I don't know if he's a top 100 guy anymore. It's just not really it for me. He didn't perform at AAA this year, didn't perform at the majors. I think he's going to be fine. Lefties, especially pitchers, take time to get good. Nick Prado's going to get bumped off this list soon. He's not as good as the Italian beef, Vinny Pasquantino, but I think he will be a good power hitter. I just think he needs a little more seasoning. Gordon Graceffo is one of the new names on this list. He's a dude who's flown up a lot of prospect rankings because he was dominant in high A. AA's been a little bit different, but the dude has some really nice stuff and 4 good pitches, so keep an eye out for Gordon in the Cardinals organization. What a good org, by the way. Justin Foscue continues to rake at AA. Just a straight-up good hitter. There's no way around it. Gavin Stone, probably going to be one of the new stud arms that the Dodgers get in the next year or so that will come up. I mean, he's just got 3 really good pitches, and he's overall a really solid pitcher, and he's dominated so far, basically, at every level he's been at. I like Jordan Westberg. I'm surprised to see him this high, but I guess it's because he has hit relatively well at AAA, considering he's only 23 years old. Guy from Mississippi State back in the 2020 draft. Juan Grissom, he's going to get off this list quickly because Juan Grissom is a stud, was tearing it up. Only played, 15, 20 games at AA before getting called up, and he's looked great. Juan Grissom, along with that, the entire Braves, they're just so good. They're so good at everything. Bo Naylor, a guy who doesn't appear on a lot of lists, and I don't know why. He's a catcher who hits really well. I understand defensively he's whatever. He's not the greatest athlete, but Bo Naylor absolutely rakes, and I think he deserves to be top 100. Ryan Pepio probably drops off the top 100 here soon just because he's going to keep pitching for the Dodgers. He's looked fine. fine. He's a young pitcher. He'll figure it out. He's got that nasty changeup. After that insanely hot start, Matt Mclean has cooled off quite a bit. Still having a good year with that 821 OPS, but the average has dropped quite a bit and the power has slowed down. I think this is probably an appropriate spot. Gavin Cross, first round pick by the Royals. They've already brought him up to A-ball because he was too good for rookie ball, and he's crushing it. Small sample, but he's crushing it. Jace Young, on the other hand, not having a good start at high A, but they got aggressive with him, went right to high A, kind of like they did with Spencer Torkelson being aggressive with him. I wasn't as high on Jace Young, but I know a lot of people worry he's a good hitter. I don't know if I would have him this high, though. Orelvis is fun because he has crazy power, but he doesn't hit for average. He doesn't get on base. It's going to be a fun prospect to keep an eye out for. I don't know what we do with Orelvis. Brian Rocchio keeps finding his way onto this list. He's good. He's whatever, I think. Hunter Brown's going to be a big power arm that comes up with the Astros probably next year, maybe in September if they want to give him a shot. He's got really good stuff. Got a friend in the Astros org. He says he's a guy to keep an eye out for. Ken Waldichuk just traded from the Yankees to the A's. Really good left-handed pitcher in AAA for the Oakland A's. Andy Paja is one of my favorite guys, still raking. Now, the offensive numbers are not as great as they were in previous years, but he's still got crazy power, and he's, 21 in AA, playing this well. Pretty good stuff. Harry Ford coming in at 68. Okay, Harry Ford. He is having a nice year at A-ball with the Mariners. Walks a ton, which is just so cool to see from Harry Ford. He had all the physical talent and attributes, but what was he going to do in games? I love seeing the good eye from Harry Ford. Logan Ohapi. I was told I call him Ohop. It's Ohapi. I saw him make an insane throw the other day. That might have been one of the best throws I've ever seen a catcher make. Coming in at number 67, yeah, I can see it. Now, I don't necessarily understand the crazy hype around Drew Romo. I think he's fine. I think he's good, but I don't know what necessarily puts him ahead of Ohapi and Harry Ford, in my opinion. Drew Romo, Andy Rodriguez, I think is better. I think there's better catching prospects, just my personal opinion. I think Leover's a little high at 65. I'm not particularly as high on Leover as I once was. I just don't see what the offensive ceiling really is for him. I don't know if he's really top 100 right now. Adele Amador, though, Adele is fun. The Rockies are low-key figuring something out with their farm system because they're littered with really good players, and Adele Amador is one of them. I like to see that he's starting to get some love here. The dude is an on-base machine. 73 walks to 58 Ks is so sick with that power. Cam Collier, if you followed my draft stuff, you know how much I love him. I think that this is a really fair spot, and I think he could be a crazy fast riser. Owen White, I think, is a little high at 62. I like Owen White. I think he's a top 100 guy. I just don't know if I'd put him this high. I think he's a good pitcher with some really good stuff, but I don't know about 62. I'm interested where they put Jack Leiter, who's struggling a bit. Royce Lewis coming in at 61. Injuries, super sad, but he actually looks like he's not going to be a bust now. He looks like he might be a really good major leaguer. Colson Montgomery's sick. Colson Montgomery walks a ton. He's showing a little bit more pop. I want to know if he still has that topspin issue that I saw when I watched him play, but he's a really good player. Followed up by Evan Carter, who is just one of the most underrated minor leaguers in all of, the minors. He's a guy who was a second-round pick, kind of unknown in 2020, and he has just been an on-base machine, really good plate discipline, really good pop in his bat. He keeps on getting better. Really like Evan Carter. I love the aggressive ranking here in the top 60. Cade Cavalli, I still want to see him come up. He's pitched a lot better of recent in AAA. I still think the Nationals should bring him up. I think Cade Cavalli has a chance to be a really good frontline starter. Mick Abel, I actually haven't checked in on Mick Abel. I liked his stuff. His numbers have been okay. He's still striking out a lot of batters, not walking that many. Just seems like they're getting hits. He has a high whip, actually, which is super interesting, but I like Mick Abel's stuff. Gavin Williams is probably one of the best pitching prospects in the minors, so to see him at 56 feels a little bit undervalued when other people have him higher. He's just been dominant at every single level he's had so far in his career. Big Gavin Williams guy. Shout out to James, my podcast co-host. Gavin Williams is a stud. Edwin Arroyo, beast, came over in the Luis Castillo trade. Switch thrower, which is weird, but look at these power numbers with the walks and the on base and everything. You got to be excited if you're a Reds fan. Mason Wynn, really good. I don't know how good he truly will be, but he throws the ball about 100 from shortstop. He's a really good hitter. He's been great thus far. AA hit a little bit of a snag, but still almost 800 OPS as a 20-year-old. Yeah, he's talented. He's good. Oswald Peraza, disappointing year, but also not really because he's actually still playing pretty well. It's just maybe you thought he was going to get called up by this point. Not yet. Coming in at 53. Jacob Berry, 52. I don't think I would have him this high. I think he's probably behind Cam Collier in my opinion. This feels extremely aggressive for Jacob Berry. Brennan Davis at 51. I know he's been hurt this year and he's had all these weird things. I feel bad for the guy. He's fallen quite a bit. Tyler Soderstrom, raking, of course, but that being said, not as much at AA. For a guy who's without a position again, although I do see they listed first base finally, it's interesting to note. I don't know what to think about Soderstrom. I think 50's fine. Sal Frelick got to AAA. Sal Frelick is proving me extremely, extremely wrong. Still hitting for 0 power. I did say he's going to be like Brett Gardner, and I stand by that, but on-base machine, doesn't strike out. Solid player. I don't know what his ceiling is, honestly, but he's playing really well. Jack Leiter, 48. I think you probably, I'm not giving up on Jack Leiter by any means, but these numbers are not good. They also did just throw him right into AA in his first major or professional season, so that's a little tough, but rough year. I think you could probably drop him down a little bit more, but he's so good. He is so good. He will be okay. Quinn Priester at 47. Quinn Priester, solid pitcher in the Pirate system. He's just got 3-4 good pitches. That's Quinn Priester for you. I'm fine with that. Max Meyer, technically really shouldn't be on here, but he's also technically a prospect. Tommy John looks like he's got good stuff. Big Max Meyer guy. Talk about these next 2 Dodgers prospects in Michael Busch and Miguel Vargas. Michael Busch is having a really nice year at the plate. Just an extra base hit machine in AAA. I got to imagine the Dodgers are going to call him up at some point, right? He's been really good this year. And Miguel Vargas, I know, got a call up. Back in AAA, though. Miguel Vargas, he's good. He's legit. Look at these numbers. 15 homers, 26 doubles, 862 OPS in AAA for the full year with a 380 on base. I love Miguel Vargas. Colton Cowser, really, really good. I'm happy about him. He was someone I was crazy high on in the draft last year. Called him Christian Yelich light, and he's kind of playing like it. Good year for Baltimore. I think he should be higher. Got to give credit to Jason Dominguez. He got called up to high A. He's continuing to play well. He's looking more and more like a better top prospect. I don't know if I have him at 40s yet because I don't see the ceiling that we once saw, but I think he's definitely top 75, top 60, top 50 even. And then I'm really nitpicking about 41, so I don't know. Dominguez, I think, has changed his outlook a little bit more back positively. Jackson Jobe, not looked great, but he's young. He still has that wipeout slider. First professional baseball season. Jackson Jobe's fine. 41, sure. Kevin Perrotta, here we go. We got another draft guy breaking in at number 40. People love his bat. I love his bat. He's a Met. Let's go, Kevin Perrotta. 39, Josh Young, getting some playing time this year. He's back. He's healthy. I got to imagine the Rangers are going to call him up any day now. He's been raking since he's back. So Josh Young, fingers crossed. I'm a big Josh Young fan. Curtis Mead at 38. Love the Curtis Mead love here because he is a really, really good ball player. If he wasn't on the Rays, he's probably playing already. Third base, second base, corner outfield, first base, whatever it is, going to be a super utility man. The man from down under. He's from Australian, if you like my accent there. Curtis Mead's a ball player. Brian Bayo, he went back down to AA. Interesting. I know. Oh, he got hurt, didn't he? Yeah, I think Bayo got hurt. I like his stuff. I don't know if he's ready yet truly for the majors. I think a little more seasoning. He is a youngin at 23, but I was excited about what I have seen thus far. Stuff-wise is good. Shea Langoliers just got called up, hitting really well. I think he deserved the call-up. He was having a great year in AAA. Good defensive catcher, good hitter in AAA. Let's see what Shea Langoliers has. James Wood at 35. I'm all about the James Wood love. Again, a guy I was super high on the draft last year. Continues to be great. Where do the Nats have him at? The Nats have him at A-ball. Okay. He's playing relatively well. I'm a big James Wood guy. Huge guy, big power, great plate discipline, sick athlete. Who doesn't like that? Number 34, Ricky Tiedemann, someone who went super under the radar in the draft. 3rd round pick last year, and Ricky has been icky, but icky in a good way. Look at these numbers. 3 teams. Low A, high A, double A now. Double A had a rough couple, appearances, but he was so lights out before that. Really, really good stuff from the left side. Brooks Lee's mashing. He's hitting really, really well. I think they already sent him, to high A. He's looked really good. All around solid player. Probably had one of the best hit tools in the draft, especially coming out of college. George Valera at 32, big George Valera fan, gets on base at a pretty elite clip, walks a lot, good power, good outfielder. He looks a little weird on the field, but George Valera is a great future outfielder for those Guardians. PCA, this one's going to hurt me. I think the Cubs are going to win this trade in the end because PCA has looked fantastic at both levels. Fantastic. He's definitely slowed down a little bit at high A, but for a 20-year-old and really his first full season in the minors, you have to be to the moon if you're a Cubs fan or in the Cubs organization. Termarr comes in at number 30. Okay. Who cares about his numbers? Good hitter. We know Termarr's a beast. I'm cool with him being a top 30 prospect. Same thing with Elijah Green. I figured they would kind of be right next to each other, so that makes sense. He comes in at 29. Has Green played it all? Yep, and he has been mashing in 8 games. That makes sense. If you listen to my card channel, I was preaching to you to buy Ezequiel Tovar cards for $10 a piece, and now they're like $120, $130 for just base Bowman Chrome autos. You would have made a lot of money like I did. Ezequiel Tovar, such a good hitter. So good. I saw him hit in the fall league. I fell in love, and he has mashed at AA. He's become one of the best prospects in baseball. A guy who just continues to keep getting better and better. And like I said, Rocky Zorg, just kind of has a lot of players. Bobby Miller, the numbers don't look great, but if you've watched him pitch, he throws like 101 and has just disgusting stuff. Big Bobby Miller fan. I think he's one of the best pitching prospects in baseball. Tristan Casas, if it wasn't for Eric Hosmer, probably gets called up at some point. I know at AAA, his numbers have been relatively good. He's an on-base machine, really good discipline at the plate, strong, powerful. I like Tristan Casas a lot. Andrew Painter, 25. This was my favorite pitcher last year, and for good reason. Look at the numbers: 75 innings, 118 Ks, 23 walks, 2 home runs, 42 hits, 1.19 ERA. Yep, he should be, honestly, I might put him like top 15 in terms of prospects. He's so sick. I can't believe he dropped that far. Like, it was so obvious that this guy was going to be a stud. Zach Veen, love me some Zach Veen. Did they bring him to AA? They did. Nice. He's not playing as well, but understandable when you change to different levels. Apparently AA is the best level in minor leagues right now in terms of talent. Makes sense he slowed down. Him and Robert Hassel are going to be ranked next to each other till the end of time. Robert Hassel in AA, 3 games, struggling as well. Same thing. Man, I mean, both of these guys are just incredibly talented. Robert Hassel, more 5-tool than I think Zach Veen, but Zach Veen might be a better power hitter. Shout out to Kyle Harrison. Dude continues to be a beast. Another dude who went a little bit later in the 2020 draft who's been great. 21st overall, Taj Bradley. Taj Bradley's going to be that new arm that comes up for the Rays probably in September and maybe even comes up for the playoffs, and they use him as Shane McClanahan was in the bullpen because he's got a great arm. Henry Davis at 20. Interesting. How's Henry Davis doing? Not doing well at AA over a small sample, but overall raking, that's what his calling card was. Henry Davis is a good hitter, although it's interesting to see the power numbers. Oh, it's only 41 games. Okay. All right. I was like, interesting to see he's only hit 7 homers. 41 games, that's fine in the minors. My boy Brett Beatty cracking the top 20. Love this. Looks so good at the major league level. I don't know if he's ever going to get sent back down, so yeah, I love Brett Beatty top 20. Noel V Marte at 18. Noel V has started to heat up a little bit more, although since going to Cincinnati, not so great, but I'm a believer in Noel V. I think he's a really good player, probably more of a third baseman though. Great bat. Marco Luciano, not playing that much because of some injury stuff. 50 games thus far, but playing really well at high A ball, which is nice because he started off a little slow. Daniel Espino, one of the best pitching prospects in all of baseball. Again, not a lot of innings this year because of injuries and such, but Daniel Espino has just some wipeout nasty stuff. Some of the best swing and miss in all of the minors. Again, the Guardians and the Rockies, low-key might have the best farm systems in baseball. And I think the Guardians might be number 1. 15, Ellie De La Cruz. If you don't know about Ellie, you need to get hip right now. Check out these numbers. He's raked at high A. He raked at AA. Ellie's the future of this Cincinnati Reds team. Crushes baseballs, huge, strong kid. He's only 20 years old, and he's putting up some of the best numbers in all of minor league baseball at AA. I'm shocked Jackson Holliday's at 14 now. I know he's the number 1 overall pick, but I expected him to kind of be in that like 25 to 30-ish range. I don't think he's that much farther ahead of Elijah Green or Termarr Johnson. I like Jackson Holliday a lot. I really do. I just don't know if I have him as one of the 15 best prospects as of right now in minor league baseball. I love him, though. Great pick at number 1. I would have picked Drew Jones, but Jackson Holliday was my number 2 player. Jordan Lawler coming in at number 13 at high A. Jordan Lawler just keeps raking. He's a beast. He's a boss. I can't believe that in back-to-back drafts, the Diamondbacks had Jordan Lawler and Drew Jones fall right into their laps. Drew Jones, of course, got hurt. It's that weird thing that happens with Diamondbacks first-round picks where they hurt their shoulder in BP, so he's not really going to play this year. But both of these guys, yeah, I think this is completely fine. There's a world where Jordan Lawler's a top 10 for me. Jackson Chorio at 11. Baseball America had him at 2, which was very aggressive, but they, talking to Baseball America people, they said he's got Vlad Jr. type hype, Wander Franco type hype. Jackson Chorio at 18 at high A. Yeah, that's some serious hype. Brewers got a really good player here. Number 10, Yuri Perez, who is, in my opinion at least, probably the best pitcher in the minors right now. I know at AA, 4.19 ERA doesn't look great, but striking out 102, walking 21. He's got absolutely filthy stuff. You watch the pitch in the futures game. Yuri Perez is really, really good. Really good. I believe he's top 10. Diego Cartaya at 9. Yeah, so here's where I probably defer. I like Diego Cartaya a lot, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to take the shortstop, Jordan Lawler, over the catcher. Same age, same level. I'm going to take Jordan Lawler, but Diego Cartaya is like a top 12 prospect then. I don't think any of these guys inside the top 10 are like, whoa, what are we doing here? Marcelo Meyer at 8. I love it. I have his Sparkle Auto that I pulled, and that card's going to make me a lot of money one day because Marcelo Meyer is the truth. Talk about falling into their laps. The Red Sox were gifted from the baseball gods, Marcelo Meyer. He's just such a good player. Gabriel Moreno at 7. We saw him at the majors struggle a little bit, but he's still a really, really good hitter. I'm not sure what the power is going to look like for Gabriel Moreno, though, if I'm going to be honest. Jordan Walker at 6. It's crazy that at 20 years old in AA, for a full year, he has a 300 average with a 393 on base, 915 OPS, 15 homers, 27 doubles. Like, wow, Jordan Walker's probably the 4th best prospect in my opinion. Man, it probably does go, as you can see. because I kind of agree with this. Francisco, Gunnar, Corbin, Jordan Walker. I think Jordan Walker's 4. I don't know if Volpe's 5 for me. I think Jordan Walker's better. Yeah, I guess Volpe kind of is 5. I don't know. It's kind of tough. I mean, he is really good. He's playing really well at AA this year. He obviously has power. I just don't know if he's a shortstop. Do love that he walks quite a bit, so that's nice. I don't know if he sticks at shortstop. I think his glove's fine. I just don't know if he has the arm. Yeah, I guess he's 5. I guess. Grayson Rodriguez at 4. Hasn't thrown much because of injury. 11 starts, though. He's going to probably be... As soon as he's healthy after rehab, probably go right to the Orioles majors. Corbin Carroll, you know him, you love him. He's sick, absolutely disgusting. The dude just became a power hitter all of a sudden. He was always a good contact hitter, always got on base, but the power came along and you're like, oh, one of the best prospects in baseball in the Diamondbacks organization. Gunnar Henderson at 2. What an awesome year for Gunnar in the minors. Just an absolute stud. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves Gunnar. Whether he's the future shortstop or third baseman for the Orioles, that's up for debate, but there's no doubt that he's going to hit. And, of course, he's a lefty. You don't want righties in Baltimore. And then coming in at number 1, my boy Francisco Alvarez, El Troll. I can't wait for them to call him up. I don't know how much more James McCann I can watch, but Francisco Alvarez just rakes. Now, at AAA, slowed down quite a bit. The numbers are not great. That being said, though, still getting on base. He is walking quite a bit, which I love to see. Still hitting for some power. 5 homers in what? 29 games, like a little bit of power despite the struggle. The dude absolutely mashes, though. I mean, every single level, he's mashed. 23 homers, 20 doubles. He's 20 years of age. Got to work on the catching a little bit, but hitting-wise, he's about close to as MLB ready as you can get. Overall, I think this list is pretty good. I'm trying to think, are there any egregious not top 100 guys I can think of right now? I'm actually surprised Oscar Colas didn't get there because he's been tearing up the minors. Like, look at these numbers. 17 homers, 15 doubles, hitting .314 with a .903 OPS. I am quite shocked he is not there. I know he's older, but I would have thought he would have gotten top 100 love. I mentioned this name earlier. I'm a big Endy Rodriguez guy. I think this dude just absolutely mashes, and I'm not sure why he doesn't get the love. Also a big Aaron Zavala guy. Now, I know he's a little bit older, 22 at AA, but I really like Aaron Zavala. Keep an eye out for him, too. So I'd love to know what you guys think about the top 100 prospect list down in the comment section below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with me, who got snubbed, who's too high. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you. Follow me on all my social media at GiraffeNickMark, links in the description. That's where I'll wrap up today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.